Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Noon When Boy Slept Very Deeply. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Noon in our house never announces itself loudly. It slips in on soft feet, carrying the warmth of the sun and the smell of rice just finished cooking. On that particular day, the air felt slower than usual, as if the clock had decided to take a nap too. Outside, a delivery motorbike hummed and faded away. Inside, the curtains breathed gently with the breeze. And right in the middle of the living room, Boy, my dog, my small son with 4 legs, had already surrendered to sleep. Boy didn't simply sleep. He arrived there. First, he made a thoughtful circle, nose to the floor, checking invisible messages left by the morning. Then he folded himself down with a sigh that sounded like relief. His paws tucked in, tail curled just so, ears relaxed. The room softened around him. The light landed on his fur and stayed, as if it knew it had found the right place. I sat nearby with a book I wasn't really reading. Boy's breathing set the rhythm for the room. In, out, in, out. Each breath was deep and confident, the kind of sleep that comes from feeling safe. Occasionally, one ear flicked, chasing a dream. His paws twitched once, twice, perhaps running across a field only he could see. He smiled, actually smiled, a tiny lift at the corner of his mouth that made me grin back. What struck me most was how complete his rest was. There was no tension in his body, no readiness to jump up. This was not a nap taken with one eye open. This was trust. This was a dog who knew he didn't need to guard anything, because the world, for now, was kind. As the sun climbed higher, the house felt like a shared secret. I moved quietly, stepping around Boy as if he were something precious, and he was. Even the sounds I made felt softer. When I poured water, I did it slowly. When my phone buzzed, I silenced it without looking. It felt right to protect this sleep, to let the afternoon be gentle. I realized then that Boy had given me something without trying, permission to slow down. Watching him sleep deeply made rushing feel unnecessary, almost rude. In his stillness, I found my own breath evening out. Noon had become a pause, not a break. And in that pause, the bond between us felt warm and wordless, like sunlight resting on fur. Boy's dreams seemed to grow richer as the minutes passed. His nose wrinkled once, then relaxed. A quiet huff escaped him, followed by a contented stretch that never quite woke him up. I imagined his dream world, the park down the street, grass tall and cool, the smell of morning bread from the bakery, my footsteps beside him, steady and close. In his dreams, we were always together. Animals speak a language that doesn't need translation. Boy tells me everything with his body. When he's happy, his whole back end wags. When he's unsure, he leans closer. When he's tired, he simply trusts the floor and the room and me. That noon, his sleep was a full sentence. I am safe. I am loved. I belong here. I remembered the first days after Boy came home. His sleep then was lighter. He startled at small sounds. His body was always half ready to move. Trust, I learned, grows slowly. It's built from routines, meals on time, walks that keep their promises, hands that never rush. Over time, his sleep deepened. Over time, his sighs grew longer. As I watched him, I thought about how much care is invisible. No one applauds a quiet house. No one posts photos of a dog sleeping at noon. But these moments are the architecture of a relationship. They are the beams and bricks that hold everything else up. A deep sleep is not an accident. It's the result of kindness repeated. The house warmed as the sun shifted. A cat from next door crossed the window ledge, paused, and moved on. Boy did not stir. His trust was complete. I felt honored to be the reason for it. In that stillness, I noticed my own body. My shoulders dropped. My jaw unclenched. I had been carrying a list in my head. Emails, errands, expectations. But the list lost its voice. Boy had no list. He had this moment, this floor, this breath. His presence invited me to join him there. I reached out and rested my hand near him, not touching, just close enough for warmth. He sighed again, a deeper sound this time, like a door closing gently. The room held us both. Noon passed without asking anything from us. And in the quiet, I learned that caring for an animal isn't just about what we give. It's about what we are allowed to receive. When Boy finally woke, It was unhurried. He stretched, yawned, and looked at me as if to say, "That was perfect." This simple noon carries lessons for our lives today. In a world that rewards speed and noise, animals remind us that rest is not laziness, it is wisdom. A dog who sleeps deeply teaches us the value of safety, routine, and gentle presence. From Boy, we learn to create environments where trust can grow. For people, that means building homes and relationships that feel predictable and kind. For animals, it means consistent care, patience, and respect for their rhythms. Deep rest comes from knowing needs will be met without fear. We can apply this by slowing our pace, protecting quiet moments, and honoring the emotional lives of animals. Listen with your eyes. Notice posture, breath, and mood. Offer time instead of urgency. Choose compassion over convenience. When we care for animals thoughtfully, we practice empathy daily, and that empathy returns to us, softer and stronger. Human-animal relationships thrive on mutual calm. By giving animals safety, we learn how to give it to ourselves. Let noon be a pause. Let rest be sacred. Like Boy, allow trust to deepen, and watch how life becomes kinder, one gentle breath at a time.